अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की स्कंद विविधि फाउंडर आचार्य डिवाइन ग्रेस शिल प्रभुपाद की जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमान शिल भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की श्री श्री गुरु परंपरा की प्रमोद गौड़ी संप्रदाय की रामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की श्री वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की अलाचुआ नीरमणिति धाम की वेडनेसडे प्रोग्राम की श्री श्री राधा वृंदावन चंद्र की कृष्ण बलराम जी की राधा श्याम सुंदर जी की समवेत वैष्णव वृंद की गंगा मैया जमुना मैया की भक्ति देवी की तुलसी महारानी की हरिनाम संकीर्तन की पाप मोचनी एकादशी की एकादशी माता की निताय गौर प्रमानंदे हरि हरि। All glories to the assembled devotees, Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada. Om Jnana. You know, there is a Bhagavad Gita 12:12. It says that Krishna says that if you, even for a moment, if you meditate on the lotus feet of your Guru and Krishna, but in order to do that, you have to engage your intelligence. Why you doing? Sorry. Then we can literally destroy a lot of anarthas that challenges in our bhakti path. So while we are praying this Mangala Charan, in your subtle body, you can offer some flower, garland to your Guru, Srila Prabhupada and Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, like this one by one. Literally, you do this, you'll be so surprised. Mystically, you'll find that a lot of unnecessary thing disappears. In order to meditate the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Krishna or Srimati Radharani, it is not possible unless we have a pure consciousness and then Krishna consciousness. So let's do this, because we do this anyway, Mangalacharan. Why not we take advantage of it? Can we do that? In your subtle body, you think beautiful garland or flower you're going to offer to your Gurudev, and then to Srila Prabhupada and others. So please join. Om Jnanati Mirandhasa Yenanjana Salakaya Chakshu Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah Sri Chaitanya Mano Visham Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Shapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jutapada Kamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanitanscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Tinamini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschat Deshatarine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Dinamini Sri Vasavadavi Devi Daitaya Kripataye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayine Prabhave Namah Madhurja Ujjala Premada Sri Rupanuga Bhaktida Sri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namaste Gauravani Sri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddha Apa Siddhanta Danta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralamba Sambodhe Padambujayate Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Parayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumestam Nirdeshta Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathaya Te Namah Vancha Kalpa Tarubhasya Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Vrindaye Tulasi Devaye Priyaye Kesavasya Krishna Bhakti Pade Devi Sattva-bhakti Namo Namah Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we had a 6th question today. It's a preload or frequently asked question about Bhagavad Gita that we do not discuss much, but it lingers in the mind of many readers. So we put this question today, and then tomorrow we'll begin with the 1st chapter. And this is just my suggestion that on each chapter, those slokas that Prabhupada focused more, we'll focus on those. And if you have any special preference, we can also address some sloka. We cannot do every sloka details, that will take, which is nice forever, but it will be nice too. But we are limited by time. So first question was here, what is the significance of the choice of Kurukshetra as the battlefield? Then question is, what are the most significant events leading to the war? Third is, what are the reasons for Lord Krishna speaking of Bhagavad Gita? Fourth is, what is the special qualification of Arjuna, not others, that gives him the opportunity to hear Bhagavad Gita? In other words, those who are hearing Bhagavad Gita, they are fortunate. And they have one most prominent quality they have, the other don't have. Can you figure it out? It's 9th chapter, 1st one. Yes?
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said about the following.
In order to hear properly Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was allowed, but not others could hear, even though there were 640 million people, but they could not hear. And question came then, was Arjuna, no, I'm already loud.
No, it's right there so they can hear the speaker.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So out of 640 million people, why only Arjuna was allowed? That was question, huh?
He presented himself as a student. He asked for guidance.
That's a good qualification, but it's not enough, according to Krishna. It's a 9.1. Krishna revealed them. So we're going to come to that. There is a one qualification we have to have in order to have Bhagavad Gita appear in our heart by the mercy of Guru Krishna. By the mercy of Guru Krishna, everything is possible, but recipient also has to prepare. You follow? Guru can be very powerful. Prabhupada can be giant powerful. Krishna also giant powerful. But he cannot take disciple back home, back to God, if disciple doesn't want to go. There's a key point. Prabhupada gave that in Mauritius. That Guru can be very strong. He throw the rope and tell the disciple, hold on to it. These are the sadhan bhakti. But disciple doesn't want to hold the rope. A Guru is very powerful. That doesn't mean anything. The disciple also has to follow. So with that note, we will begin. So there is generally two times Bhagavad Gita are well known, spoken. Vyasdev did not speak Bhagavad Gita. Vyasdev wrote it down. There's a big difference. So one was the Jaimini Rishi and Vaishampayan to Janmenjaya. That is written by Vyasdev. Just like you will have a question that Bhagavad Gita was spoken in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And Bhishma Dev left after Bhagavad Gita spoken, not before. So how come we follow Bhishma Panchaka? You follow? Bhishma Dev departing from this world. And then Bhagavad Gita Jayanti. Because when Gita was written down in Santi Parva in Mahabharata, it was not written down at that time. It was written down later. As I said, there are many Bhagavad Gita spoken, many audience. Bhagavad Gita was not Bhagavad Gita only, Mahabharata. Bhagavad Gita is a part of Mahabharata. If Mahabharata, you take three things out, it may act like a Bollywood movie. If you take Narayani Stotram, Vishnu Sahasranam and Bhagavad Gita out of Mahabharata, it's just another Bollywood movie type. Everybody understand? But why Vyasdev gave it? Because he wanted everyone to be attracted. Just like we attract people by prasadam. Not necessarily they want to come to Krishna consciousness, but we attract them by book distribution, by prasadam like this. People are not born with like, oh, I want to be Krishna conscious. They are not. So we try to attract. That's how the acharyas they do. And the followers of acharyas. So with that note, we'll begin. So Janmenjaya, Vaishampayan that spoke to Janmenjaya, that Mahabharata is what documented. And that's why this Bhagavad Gita is explained in Santi Parva very nicely. This is a one section of Mahabharata. Srila Prabhupada was always very cautious that whenever we take metaphorical explanation, it should never be at the expense of the literal. For example, some say, because this is very well known in the world, some say the Kurukshetra war never took place. It was just a symbolic. Prabhupada was strongly against that. If the literal, however, it understood and as a substitution, not as a supplementation. There's a big difference. The some metaphorical or symbolic representation were utilized. Prabhupada did not object to that. In fact, Prabhupada himself used that in the second initiation talk he gave to the devotees. He said, now that you surrender unto Sri Krishna, you did not lament because now you have made Krishna your charioteer. In the battlefield, if you look at the picture, that Arjuna, first thing, their dialogue, Arjuna was taking Krishna's help. So those who are initiated, you should take advantage of that mood. The way Prabhupada presented, very interesting. He said in the chariot, body analogy, the intelligence is like a charioteer, body is like the chariot, and horses are the senses, the rein are the mind, and passenger is the soul. Everybody know the Bhagavad Gita picture, right? All Bhagavad Gita is the same picture, what I just said. It's very interesting. That means let Krishna guide our intelligence. What Srila Prabhupada is doing here is that he's taking the Bhagavad Gita, imagery, and universe listing it. Arjuna had Krishna as his charioteer, guide, and as a person who will direct him and counsel him. When we surrender to Krishna, just like Arjuna surrendered to Krishna, Srila Prabhupada says, Krishna will become your helper. Can you remember that? This is wonderful. When you surrender your Guru, Krishna, they become your helper. You have to, you know the word dependence, like a child depend on mother. Child is doing everything, but whenever child needs something, depending on mother. Not taking advantage of it, that I will do my sense enjoyment and I'll just ask for Krishna to. No, in your devotional path, if something challenging, you cannot serve properly, you're sick or other, you can pray to Krishna. So why is it also called Dharmasketra? Hare Krishna. Welcome. Why we choose Kurukshetra as a Dharmasketra? Srila Vasudev has referred to the battlefield of Kurukshetra as Dharmasketra. This has a hidden meaning. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, those who are listening online, 9.22.4. Because everything we speak should have a reference. Not I heard it from somewhere. It should be always referred where it is documented. And if it is by Acharya, you should always refer. Yes, can you repeat the Srimad Bhagavatam 9.22.4. That their land is named Kurukshetra after King Kuru. The Shalya Parva of Mahabharata relates the following story. That one time Kuru Maharaj, he had a compassionate heart. He wanted to do something just like a father does for the children in the family. So he wanted to do something for his citizen. So he was thinking that after they die, they should be allowed to go heaven, higher. So those days you could do this by austerity. So he took plow and made of gold. There is a rituals, whole thing. I'm not going to explain all these rituals. I don't think we're going to do it, but if you need it, I can forward it to you. But he was plowing, and then when he was plowing the field, and he was, you know how, I hope you all saw how they plow the field, right? You go like this and circle, come back and go back and come back. There is a Indra who is the king of heaven. King of heaven means he also is the person who allows who can go in heaven, who cannot go in. It's not like he is the king and he only enjoys and anybody can get in. No, there is a criteria. So he came in when he found out, because everybody goes to heaven, not from hell. Where from they go to heaven? Only this planet. This is the only planet you perform karma to go to heaven or hell. Either one. Hopefully nobody goes to hell. Like the Hare Krishna movement spreading. So Indra came in a disguised form. He said, "Excuse me, king, what are you doing?" So I'm plowing the field. But what's the purpose? Oh, to make this sacrifice to a point where anybody leaves their body in this land can go to heaven. Of course, he was not aware in the beginning, this is Indra, disguising. Sometime Prabhupada said in the audience of Harikatha, Jamaraj comes. In a form, you think, oh yeah, I know this Mataji, I know this Prabhu, but it could be Jamaraj. Yeah. It's in the Bhagavatam purport. may not be her. Jamaraj could be taken the form of this Prabhu or Mataji and just came, and you think, oh, I know. That's good, it's okay, you don't have to be suspicious. But at the same time, it's good to know. And Prabhupada said, because he comes, so anybody pays attention to Harikatha or speaking or hearing, they don't have to go to see Jamaraj in heaven or Jamalaya. That's nice. So then after that, what happened? That Indra tried in a different disguise form. Guess how many times? 99. Why? Why so many times? Because in your sadhana, if you commit offense, what happened to your journey? Come on, answer me. You are progressing in spiritual path. What is offense means? It distracts you. It blockages your path. You follow? So he is doing, and somebody coming in a different form. Oh, king, what is going on? Why are you planning this? Of course, he's not alone. The king, he has hundreds of ministers, soldiers, everybody, but they are surrounding. And this different Brahmana dress, different person coming, sages coming, but it's not different person, it's just same Indra. He wants to distract him. If you ask somebody so many times, 99 times, you try to irritate or some each other, see how many times. After a while, it's why are you asking like, ooh, blow up. When you do sadhana chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, no offense to think, because it will fructify. Sadhane bhavive jaha, siddhite paive taha. What you are thinking during sadhana, it will produce the result. A lot of danger is for them. During our chanting, during our sadhana, we think unnecessary things. Of course, this is the job of the mind. Why we allow mind to enter in our sadhana? We need intelligence to guide. And intelligent means, what is intelligent means? To guide us. Means remembering the instruction of Guru, Shastra. This is how intelligent protect the mind from disturbing. You follow? We have to concentrate on it. So then, after this, many times, when he is failed, Indra failed, that he cannot irritate this king, Kuru. Then finally he revealed. He said, I am Indra. Why are you doing this? I don't want anybody to go in. So I'm going to make it short because of the time. What was the contract? Contract is that anybody does austerity or spiritual austerity in that land, in Kurukshetra. And if anybody are in a war, for these two reasons, if they die during the austerity or war, they will go to Sarga, heaven. Everybody understood? So that's why the Kurukshetra was very popular. And then when that proposal came, then Krishna was also happy, they're good. Then both parties agreed. And then they accepted Kurukshetra should be the battlefield. It's very far from where they live, Hastinapur. But they choose there because even if somebody dies, they will be in heaven. There is no loss. But of course, we are devotee. We are not focusing on that, but still we need to know. All of a sudden, Krishna reminded me something was very interesting, that this Maharaj, Akshayananda Maharaj, was asking Prabhupada that how come he thinks Radha Partha Sarathi? Because this is the Partha Sarathi picture on the Bhagavad Gita. Partha means Arjuna and Krishna, Partha Sarathi. So how come you think Radha Partha Sarathi? And Prabhupada answered, he didn't even wait for a moment or something. He immediately said, you think there is ever time that Krishna is not focused on Radharani or not thinking of Radharani? Hey. Generally, you don't think Radharani is there. But according to Prabhupada, Krishna is always meditating, absorbing Radharani. So I'm going to give a little story. It is not in the question, just Srila Prabhupada, 1965, he got free passage to come to America on Srimati Morarji, I believe that's her last name, the size. And remembering meeting Srila Prabhupada at Kurukshetra, the ticket that Prabhupada got to come to America, actually he met in Kurukshetra. This is by Loknath Maharaj. He gave the history of that, how it was. And Srila Prabhupada was in Kurukshetra, where this battlefield took place. Srila Prabhupada was sitting under a tree, I'm just reading, chanting on beads. Seeing that he was distinguished sadhu, Srimati Morarji approached him. She was impressed with his humility and devotion. She mentioned this when Srila Prabhupada went to see her in Bombay to ask her help to get into America. In October 1970, Srila Prabhupada was traveling to Amritsar by train with a group of disciples. As the train arrived in Kurukshetra station, Srila Prabhupada landed there and Srila Prabhupada went to this battlefield. And Prabhupada actually mentioned them where exactly battlefield took place and where Krishna and Arjuna had a talk. And they have a temple. Now ISKCON has a huge temple they are building. 2 temples actually. First was one, and they got land. Now they're having another temple to make it bigger.
How big is the field?
640 million soldiers with horses and elephant, you figure it out. It is like Vrindavan, as Manigriva and Nalkuba, Sanatana Goswami says, when they came out of the tree, you know, Krishna pulled that, everybody knows the Damodar Lila, that Krishna pulled out this Jamala Arjuna tree, and these 2 demigods came out. They prayed and they had a conversation with Krishna. Now the giant tree made huge sound, and Mother Yashoda is 30-40 feet inside the house. How come she did not hear all this? Says Stana Vilasa Krishna Lila Anusarataha. Sanatana Goswami says Krishna Lila Anusarata. According to the Krishna Lila, as Krishna wants, the Yogamaya creates everything. Mother Yashoda is there, but she didn't hear until demigod, they all finished their prayers. They cried. They could not even pay obeisance. Krishna says, why are you crying? He said, you are so beautiful. We don't want to miss you. Even paying obeisances will miss you, to miss our eyes to see. It was like such emotional discussion. Beautiful prayers. Many beautiful. And they actually got a position, higher position. Not that they went to heaven and then later on they became a singer in Golok Vrindavan also. They're very nice. Next, this was leading how Srila Prabhupada encouraged the devotee to have that temple, and temple is right now going on. Question raised that what was the event that leads this war at the first place? What was? So you all know that Kuru territories were divided into 2, right? One was Dhritarashtra with his capital at Hastinapur, and Pandava got Khandava Prastha. Khandava Prastha, anyway, I don't want to go details about it. Khandava Prastha means it's a place where nobody is livable. But it was a mercy of Krishna, he was there, and there was all kinds of, challenges in life. Like there was a Maya Danav, Indra did not want anybody to go in there, but fire god, Agni, he wants to eat. You know, Agni Dev, he eats the fire. And Indra didn't want. So there was a kind of like a, you think you have a challenge? Arjuna had a challenge. And guess who is with him? Krishna. But still he has a challenge. And this is what devotional life in material world when we practice. That's why. So, after long battle, Duryodhana gave them this Khandava Prastha, which is not livable, but by the mercy of Krishna's trickiness, tricky intelligence to Arjuna, that asked Maya to build the palace. And he built, and then Khandava Prastha became better than Hastinapur. So I was like, this is the wonderful Krishna's presence in our life. So I'm going to just give a little story. The dispute escalated into a full-scale war when Duryodhana, driven by jealousy, envy, refused to restore to the Pandavas their territories after exile. Do you have to know the whole story? You know that. There is a 12 years and 1 year unknown. These guys, Agata was. And when they came back, Duryodhana was making a little tricky story that he didn't want to give anything. Even though they have a rightful claim to take their kingdom back. But he would not. So due to jealousy. So because Duryodhana objected that they were discovered while in exile, that no return of their kingdom had been agreed upon. Let me just say, you know, with the bank, how do you know you have your money is secure? How do you know?
Just go to the bank and check.
What if bank denies it? There is no such person as you in this bank. You don't have any account.
From the
Correct. You have a FDIC. There is an insurance backing for each account. There is a document signed. You have a record that you have a statement, bank statement, all this. So there is some documents you follow. If you don't have this, really they can deny any moment to anybody. Is it? So similarly, they did not have those days people words in front of a sadhu word is as good or better than these documents. But people who are ill motive, they take advantage of it. They think, they can. So this is Duryodhana. So as the last attempt at peace is called for in Raja Dharma. Krishna, the chief of the Jadavas, Lord of the kingdom of Dwarka, traveled to the kingdom of Hastinapur to pursue the Kauravas to see some reason. Avoid the bloodshed. It's not that Krishna wanted this war. No. Krishna actually tried many ways to avoid it. But see how he goes. At least some clue we have. To embark upon a peaceful path with him as a divine ambassador of the Pandavas. Duryodhana was insulted. Duryodhana was insulted that Krishna had turned down his invitation to accommodate himself in the royal palace. Determined to stop and hinder the peace mission and adamant of going war with the Pandavas, Duryodhana plotted to arrest Krishna. You know that story. The Dhritarashtra was there, Bhishmadev, everybody was there in the court, and Krishna appeared as an ambassador, messenger, on behalf of Pandava. And then he gave the peace document, right, that these are the land belongs to Pandava. They had before, they left, and you give it back. What Duryodhana says? No. And then Karna says, I'm just making it short. Karna said, he is the person behind this Pandava. If we can finish Krishna, just imagine what they think, and they talk in front of Krishna. Can you imagine that? They're saying that if we can somehow or other finish him, then Duryodhana was like slapping on his thigh, said, why not we bind him and put him in dungeon? So Dushasana, they have 99 brothers beside Duryodhana. Dushasana, everybody came and tried to tie Krishna's feet. Krishna is just a messenger, messenger like a peon. You call it peon. Messenger. It's a nice, gentle, you're never supposed to hurt the peon. Messenger. Krishna came just a simple person, even though he is the supreme absolute truth. Krishna's first definition is, he is the Bhagavan Swarup, is that absolute truth who exists by his own right, for himself, of himself, by himself. Nothing else exists. That is our understanding of Krishna. This is just first. Then there is many others, 17. That quality, Krishna has a 64 quality. You can read in Nectar of Devotion. It's such a exciting. Did Duryodhana ever hurt those? Yes, he hurt some. Does he believe? No. This is the problem. Why we are not attracted to Krishna? Because we have enviousness. So then what happened? Dushasana went to arrest Krishna. When he went, bind his, you don't have any experience how you bind a person. So he was trying to bind his leg first. So he went with the rope, like binding his leg. Then his 2 feet became 4, then 8, then 20, 80, 100, 1,000, and it's going, and Dushasana went like this, how the rope will go, and he saw all the way end of the sky, and then he fell out. So then he came out of this, whatever you call haziness. They said, no. Then Duryodhana said, come on, what are you doing? Bind him. Many things happened there. Very wonderful. Bhishmadev saw it because he's a pure devotee. Mahajan. He started praying, wow, Krishna is exhibiting universal form in that court. This is not in the battlefield. This is much before. And then Dronacharya, Kripacharya, they are advanced devotee. They prayed. Many other. Dhritarashtra asked a very good question. I really want everybody to think. What is the difference between subjective perception versus objective perception? In our spiritual path, we should become a receiver, not achiever. It is very important to think. Subjective perception is that. Dhritarashtra says, oh, I was born blind. Can you just give me at least some, cataract operation? He didn't say cataract, I'm just saying. Some way that I can see, so my eyes can hold what I hear. Everybody's praying. They're seeing something. This is called objective perception. You'll never be able to connect Krishna with objective perception. But the world is like this. In the beginning of our life, also we pursue like this. No, don't go like that. Go by subjective perception. It is by the mercy of Prabhupada, Gurudev, Krishna, that we be able to see them. On our own, we can only endeavor for the mercy. Not that we can see, we see the deity. No, it is the Lord out of compassion. He took the form of deity to purify us. When we go in front of the deity, we don't see the deity. They see us, they purify us. They reveal their form for us. Only thing we can do, our service attitude is necessary to perceive them. Service attitude. Service attitude makes material to spiritual. So, Dhritarashtra asked, Krishna told him, very nice. He said, it is not your eye can see me. Nobody's eye can see me. It is I control who to show, who not to show. Can you tell me what Dhritarashtra could have done? He didn't do. If I was Dhritarashtra, like blind, maybe I'm more fallen than Dhritarashtra, but still what I understood now, I would just fall at the feet of Krishna. Please, my Lord, I have no qualification to see your darshan. Please allow. By Krishna's mercy, yes, possible. It is not possible by our own, whatever the senses capacity we have, we think. So many things took place in that. Anyway, at the end, of course, they failed. Then Dushasana came for other side to bind Krishna. So one side he saw end of the lotus feet in the sky was Arjuna. And he was confused. How Arjuna comes in this lotus feet there? Because Arjuna is always at the lotus feet of Krishna. You follow? Then he comes and again bind him. And the other side, the lotus feet goes all the way, and the Dushasana, all the brother looking. They're trying to bind him, but you have to reach there to bind. You have to go around. There's millions of lotus feet and the Balaram, and they all fainted. So this way they failed to bind him. They thought it is impossible. So Krishna tried many ways to stop this bloodshed of the war. So Krishna at the end, he was just laughing at their behavior and their talk, because there is no devotion, it's just envy. Then Krishna came back. During his return, Krishna did another good things. So many things Krishna did. He's such a lovable person. He's the best peacemaker in ever existed. Some other Jogamaya arranged him. He saw Karna. He knows Karna is the first son of Mother Kunti before. So he spoke to Karna. He said, do you know the history of your birth? And he revealed this whole thing. And he says, why don't you join with the Pandava? And you can rule the kingdom peacefully. You will not be killed. Anybody stayed with Pandava's support will sustain. Otherwise, everybody else will die. See how clear Krishna is giving the, preview before the war. You know, you already have access to see what's going to happen. Everybody will be dead. He told him. Karna said, oh no, I'm not going to join. I'll join with Duryodhana. I'll fight to death. Did he care for Krishna? No. That's why Krishna cares for devotee, because devotee listen. If we don't listen Krishna, if we don't listen our Guru, we are not actually doing the job that as a devotee. Devotee means, that's why Brahmana is higher and Sudra is far. Why? Because Brahmana are the one who follows the Veda. You follow? They are closer to listening Krishna. And those who are far distant, they are called Sudra. So Duryodhana and Arjun go to Krishna at Dwarka. Anyway, Karna didn't want to join. Then Duryodhana and Arjun, you know another story, that they both went to see Krishna in Dwarka. And when Krishna was sitting there, he was lying down resting. So Jogamaya's arrangement is just doing this. Purposely in that room, there is one chair. And the chair was next to Krishna's shoulder, this side. So Duryodhana came and Arjuna came fast. So immediately he saw Arjuna is not sitting in the chair. He took the chair. He just, advantage taker. I really want everybody to remember this. This is applicable. Everything is relevant to our life. What is the difference between Duryodhana and Arjuna? Arjuna, very good. Arjuna thinks world has no value without Krishna. Just think. Duryodhana thinks God has no value without the opulence world. So Krishna woke up and he saw Arjuna sitting. You know, when you wake up, you see your feet side, right? Arjuna is sitting there at his feet giving massage. Krishna said, Arjuna. Duryodhana said, I'm here too. You know, because he didn't want. Because he heard that Krishna will not join in the war. Krishna already declared. He will not participate. But he had a 900,000, 9 lakhs, Narayani Sena, very powerful. And they can join in case. So the rumor came, that's why they both came. So Duryodhana said, well, can I suggest what I want first? Then Krishna always make a little joke. Just be careful when you meet Krishna, that's how he is going to. He's not going to just let you eat. And he says, well, Arjuna came first, didn't he? Say, yes, but I really wanted to just ask you first. He said, he's also young. Let him ask first. Well, come on, it's a ritual. His younger brother gets the... Krishna just make a little fun, out of it. And if you go with the fun, you will enjoy Krishna's company. But Duryodhana has his own agenda. So anyway, he says, okay. And it's just, Duryodhana was praying, I don't know to who. He is praying that Arjuna doesn't ask for 900, the soldier. So Krishna says, Arjuna, so I have one choice. I will not fight. I will not take weapon, anything. Literally, finish. So I'm useless in that sense. But I have a 900,000 battle called Narayani Sena. They can join. You can choose. Arjuna says, Prabhu, your lotus feet is everything to me. I just want your lotus feet. This is why? Why did he say that? Because he's more than 900,000. He does not value anything without God. Without Krishna, nothing is valuable to him. But Duryodhana says, he felt good. Why he didn't ask for that? He asked for the lotus feet, which is no value to him. So he said, okay, so can I have the 900,000? Krishna says, yes, because he didn't ask for that. Okay, he's very happy. Now he's, what do you call, clown or happy clown or something for a time being. So then Krishna asked Arjuna, what do you want me to do in the battlefield? I'm not going to fight. He said, just be with me and just guide me. So what kind of? Say, you can be driver, charioteer. Oh, so everybody will shoot at me first because I'm in the front. And then Arjuna says, Prabhu, nobody ever will be born or ever was born or is born, even can touch your hair of the body, skin. What to talk about piercing? Krishna says, you have such a strong faith. Really? Now why Krishna is saying this? This is true. Why Krishna? That's how Krishna is, always joking, we're testing you. Mother Kunti is crying, but he's testing. Oh, who you pray? He said, the immortal. Oh, all these soldiers, they're also immortal. Soul never dies. Can you imagine? Like, that's how Krishna is. Krishna is always joker. Even in Kurukshetra, what happened when Krishna came there? He started giving lecture. After 50 years, he meets the gopis. He started giving lecture. Lalita Sukhi said, I can't believe this. After 50 years, you're supposed to meet and be sympathetic. And Radharani says, I know him. Let him speak. He loves philosophy. Let him speak. When he finish, then we'll meet. Because Radharani knows his heart. That's how Krishna is. Be prepared. We'll meet. Right? Come on, say yes. We will meet Radharani and Krishna. Otherwise, why we're wasting our time? No, we want to meet there by the mercy. So this way, Arjuna and Krishna were satisfied for each other. Then also the other story are that who joined in the party. So I'm just going to give you 3 party. 750. It's like time is like a 3 party in the battlefield. 1 party is Pandava's party, and there's a whole details. Actually, I put the name main. And the Kauravas party. And Pandava's party, who is the eldest? Yudhishthira Maharaj is the commander. And then Kauravas party, who is the commander? First commander. How many days the battlefield took place? 18 plus. Because on the next day morning, which is Ashwatthama killed also. 500. Bhishma, very good. Is for 9 days, 10 days finished. Then came Dronacharya like this. And there was a neutral party also in the battle. You know who is the neutral party? Huh? Krishna. Very good. I love this Prabhu. Very nice. Krishna is the neutral party. He's in the war. But he doesn't have anything to do with the killing or saving. He's just a chariot driver. He is in the neutral party and he's the biggest one because he's the God. And also Balaram, he didn't join. He went for pilgrimage. Vidura. There are many. I made a whole list of that. And the weapons, there's a big list. But there is a rules. I'll just go a few mention. I hope I can squeeze everything. This is not a regular war. Nobody can kill anyone without code. You know, code like a law. What are the code? Just few, I'll mention few. Very nice. He said that fighting must begin no earlier than sunrise. So sunrise, fighting starts. You follow? Nobody can hidingly kill someone at night. No. And as soon the sun set, war is over. Even if you are halfway about to kill, but you have to stop. This is the law. It's very nice. No more than 1 warrior may attack a single warrior. If you have a club, I have a club, we can fight. If you have no club, nothing in your hand, I cannot go with the club and smash you. This is, you follow, these are like a code. Very nice. So, how do you say, attractive, those. Not like a modern war, you know, throw a bomb to all these innocent ladies, children, everybody dies. This is not a war. It's like a really, anyway, I don't want to talk so much about it. No warrior may kill or injure unarmed warrior. No warrior may kill or injure an unconscious warrior. No warrior may kill or injure a person or animal not taking part in the war. Even though there is a break, you remember, Krishna did not participate, he's a neutral. But when Dronacharya died, what did Ashwatthama do? Could not take it. He figured it out. I'm still alive. How they told that I'm dead, my father is now dead. And he knew this is Krishna's plan. So he came with thousands and millions of arrows, shooting. He wants to kill Krishna. This is our loving exchange. If you look at when we come to 11th chapter, 1133, if you can read just one time, it's so beautiful. You know, before the war, already Arjuna saw that everybody put to death. You follow? But then what is the part of the Arjuna then? Why do Arjuna need? It's already done. Everybody is dead. See, this is called nourishment. The emotion that Krishna has three things. Affection. You have that? Can you read it? Yeah. Tasmat, is that Tasmat Uttishtato Jasolavasya? Yeah. Go ahead.
Therefore get up and prepare to fight. After conquering your enemies, you will enjoy the flourishing kingdom. They are already put into death by my arrangement. And you, O
Sabbasachi,
will be
my instrument. Yes. And I love few verses like this accommodate. So sweet that already they are put to death. Then what is the need of Arjuna? Because of this emotional nourishment. The Krishna has an affection. Krishna has protection. Krishna cares for his devotee. How are you going to see it? So Arjuna almost all forgot. For an example, I'm just going to go to another question automatically. Is that okay? Like for an example, in the beginning of the Gita, Krishna says Arjuna was depressed, and in a depression, he was expressing why things are depressed. Something we can learn. Experience can make you depressed. Your experience, when he heard Bhagavad Gita from Krishna, when he saw fast, he was depressed. When he heard Krishna, then he took up his Gandiva again, the bow and arrow, and he fought. So we must hear about Krishna from our Guru, from Prabhupada. This is very important. You follow? Eye experience is very dangerous. It causes a lot of problem. Arjuna had this biggest emotion. So then what happened? That when Arjuna was so emotional, then finally, hardly Krishna spoke anything in first chapter. Nothing. Then in the beginning of second chapter, I think the verse 7 starting, Arjuna is saying on 13, sloka 13, 14, then Krishna started answering. Counter argument, we will talk as we go. So Arjuna had an idea that he is addressed by Krishna as a Kurunandana, descendant of Kuru. He is also addressed as Kshatriya. What is that verse? That Krishna told Arjuna that Krishna. Savavajana kunteya nibaddha sena karmana kattam nechasi janmahat karishyasi avasho pitat. Savavajana kunteya. Arjuna, you are born with a particular nature, Kshatriya. Whether you like or you don't like, doesn't matter. You're going to fight. Even if you take sannyas, run away from the battlefield, you go to take sannyas in a forest or whatever, you will still fight because you are born. You are compelled to act. Proper translate and paraphrasing. You are compelled to act whatever the nature you are born with. In the purport, Prabhupada writes, you can either fight for Krishna or fight for Maya. That's all you have choice. We are product of our own decision. We choose whether we want to be under Yogamaya or Mahamaya. Krishna will never influence you. He will help you if you ask for, but he's never going to make a decision for you. You have to make decision. So very interestingly, when Arjuna is asking this question, am I descendant of this Kuru dynasty or am I Kshatriya? I'm confused. Now I want everybody to learn this. This is very nice. I'm just paraphrasing the whole thing because she wants me to just go and channel instead of like reading. We have a two identity. How many? Two. One is fundamental identity. Fundamental identity is I am a soul, servant of Krishna, servant of Prabhupada, who is the eternal servant of Krishna. You should always think your Guru, Gurudev, is eternal servant. There is a beautiful verse. Anyway, I don't want to go off, it's like a long. So, this is a beautiful, that fundamental identity that I am a soul, servant of the servant of Krishna. Then, I am a brahmachari. Who are you? Mataji. Who are you? Grihastha. These are called functional identity. Arjuna is a Kshatriya, functional identity. We have this. I am a brahmachari, this is functional identity. This is not fundamental identity. Fundamental identity should work, fundamental identity should work over, or in other words, functional identity should work under fundamental identity. Everybody understanding my point? This is the key point. This was missing by Arjuna. So he said, am I Kshatriya or am I descendant of this Kuru dynasty? Because Krishna addressed him as a son of Kunti, dynasty of Bharat and all this. And what did Krishna say? Neither. You are neither son of Kunti or this or Bharat dynasty or Kshatriya. What are you? Text 14, second chapter, began Krishna's teaching. You are the soul. Dehina asmin jata dehe omaram jovanam jara. Tata dehantara prapti irastattana buddha namiyati. That you are spirit soul. You follow? You are not Kshatriya or dynasty, but you have those. You follow? So our main fundamental identity should be always intact. Whatever we do, we have to chant japa as a fundamental identity level. You follow? Not functional. Today one brahmacharya, you are in the class. You have saw that brahmachari, he said, I'm 24 years brahmachari. I won't say the name. And he says, I didn't get the taste. I said, all this definition you gave, this is a functional identity. He was not even aware of that. But generally we think I'm a sannyasi, I'm a guru, I'm a TVC, I'm this and that. These are functional identity. Fundamental identity, in that mood you have to chant as a servant of the servant of your guru, servant of your guru who is serving to Radha Krishna like this. So then, so in the beginning, when Arjuna was depressed, Acharyas, they said this is Vishad Yoga. 46 sloka, first chapter, means depression. You follow? But then Krishna changed the mood. When Krishna changed the mood, then the Acharyas, they said, oh, Krishna is saying analytical study. Look, you have a Matra Sparshastha Kunteya Shitashna Sukutaka. You should tolerate. Why you should tolerate? Because you are son of Kunti. In that sloka twice, two names Krishna addressed. 2, 3, 13, that you are a son of Kunti and you are Bharat, the descendant of this big famous dynasty. So when Krishna expressed like this, then Arjuna is thinking very nicely that, oh wow, he breaking down into analytical study. So they call it Sankhya Yoga. The second chapter is called Sankhya Yoga. Then, like, I'm just giving you just how this chapter took place. You follow? Why this Acharya, they made it name of the chapter, and all the Acharya follows the same. Was not Krishna or Arjuna made it. So all of a sudden, Krishna says, so now you are soul. You follow? And then he expressed 247, end of the second chapter, he says, Karmanya adhikaraste ma bholeshu kadachana ma karma phala hetubu. Nothing, akarmani, you have a right to work, but don't have a right to result of work. Okay, Arjuna understood. On the 14th day, when Arjuna's son got killed, Abhimanyu, what did Arjuna do? Arjuna heard Bhagavad Gita. But Krishna already knew this. See how the whole is like a beautiful plan, GPS. Krishna made it through Bhagavad Gita. You're not supposed to ask for the result. You should just fight for me. Yes? But on 14th day when his son died, Arjuna says, I'm going to kill Jayadratha. He is behind the whole thing. Before sunrise tomorrow, or I'll throw myself in the fire. Wait, did he ask for only fighting, not result? Or he's asking also result? You understand what I'm trying to... He also asking to see the result that he will kill Jayadratha. A result. If not, he will throw himself. It's very nice. Krishna says, Arjuna, how did you come up with this? This is a strong vow. Because Jayadratha is not an ordinary person. He got a boon from Lord Shiva that nobody can kill him. They can kill him 1,000 times. They can separate his head from his body. Until Shiva has a tricky loophole blessing. Only Hare Krishna devotee knows. That's why they are not looking for that kind of blessing. He said, Jayadratha said, I don't want to be killed by anyone. No problem. Except maybe if your head split from the body and come to your father's lap and he throw it on the floor. Well, my father will never do that. All right, no problem. Well, Krishna knew this, and Krishna says, Arjuna, how you took this serious vow? How are you going to do it? What did Arjuna say? This is beautiful. We should focus like this. Arjuna said to Krishna, oh, you know how much power I have. I don't have much. So you know me well. I also know you well. And you are omnipotent. Everybody understanding what I'm saying? In your life, when things happen, challenging, don't focus on the challenges. Focus on how great Krishna is. This is wonderful. Arjuna says, I took a vow, but I know I don't have a power. But I have you. You have all the power. Krishna says, oh, okay. So, Krishna created. All of a sudden, the sun is about to set. Oh, his father said, Krishna knows that he does chanting mantra just before the sunrise, the sandha, three sandha, one of the junction. So immediately close his eye and chanting, and all of a sudden Arjuna throw this head of Jayadratha and fell, and the way it fell, it was not a hair or anything touching, just the wet part first, the blood. And he thought, I'm chanting my closing, this is very serious. What these wet things, he put it down. So after he finished that, he said, oh, it's my son's head. So then chapters again started. Why fifth chapter? Third chapter, karma already says, you do your karma, don't ask for the result. But fifth chapter, karma sannyas yoga, that you do your activity, but with renunciation mood. That's why all this chapter, as we progress, we'll see how scientifically actually Krishna and Arjuna dialogue. This is not just philosophy. This is our own life. That's how we relate in this world. We're not just aware, that's all. But as we progress, we'll be aware of it. When the war was declared, the two armies were facing each other. Arjuna realized he would have to kill his dear granduncle Bhishma, on whose lap. Why Arjuna was bewildered? Why Arjuna was bewildered? Can you imagine you grow up with a grandfather or grandmother when you are a little baby girl, baby boy or something, and you play on the lap of your grandparents. And in the war, you have to kill the same parents who you grow up with. Arjuna is thinking, I was a child, I was sitting on a Bhishma's lap, and he used to take care of me so much affection, and now today I have to kill him. These are very touchy. Arjuna is very proud, in a sense, not a false pride, that he is the best fighter. But how did he learn? Dronacharya, he taught him, you have to hold the bow, arrow like this, and string it, pull it, as a child. And he's thinking, oh my God, all my heroic quality came from this teacher. Today I have to kill him. This is very tormenting, his emotional feeling. So he could not say anything. I can't do it. I can't do it. His Gandiva slipped off. And as Arjuna was appealing Krishna, I can't do it, please help me. Karpanna dosa apahata sabhava. Prichhami dharma sammura cheta. When we come to that, we'll discuss how sweet those verses are. That what we take out of it, because it's 7:35, I want to end that Krishna and Arjuna's dialogue is so scientific to our life day to day, not that 5,000 years back happened. That Arjuna, who was going through a biggest challenge in his life, can we learn how to deal with the standard challenge in our life from that? Yes, this is what purpose of Bhagavad Gita. With two things Arjuna did. With for us, devotional principle, what Rupa Goswami Prabhupada gave us to do, and spiritual insight, what realization we have. Arjuna did the exactly same thing. The whole Bhagavad Gita discourse took place. At the end of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna picked up the Gandiva. Nasta mahasmiti labda tat prasadat maya uchita. Stitosmi gata sande karishyi vachanam tavo. Krishna, now my illusion is gone. No more doubts. I am firmly fixed at your feet. I am ready to do anything you want me to do. This is required. And this happened at the end. So this is what we are going to do. We'll just escape one week because Lord Ramchandra's appearance day. We're going to discuss. Next week we'll do first chapter. There was another question. What is the special qualification of Arjuna, not others, that gave the opportunity? In a short, there is a 9th chapter. Can you open? First sloka. Krishna says, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam tu te guyatamam prabhakshami anasuyave yenam vijnana sahitam jadgita mokshase asubha. Srila Prabhupada translate, my dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge and realization, knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of material existence. Now I know you all are surrendered and without envy. Those I see some audience in the also Zoom. Let me ask you all, are you envious or not envious to God? Really? Immediately says, no, I'm not envious. Can you allow Krishna to control you? Krishna is eternally controller. Ishavasham idam sarvam. Krishna says, I am the controller, not you or me. Can you allow him to control? Yes. Then why you complain? This person said to me this. Why that person thinking like this? It is Krishna sanctioning. We should not have any complaint. If we really allow Krishna to control you, then tolerate and progress, march. Now, if you say you are, where did they go? I want them to also check. Maybe you should check and tell your wife. First thing, if you are not envy to God, let's see. First, does not make offenses to other devotees. If you criticize or making accusation or talk nonsense about another devotee, you are envious to Krishna. This is 10 point given by Acharya. Second, does not consider the demigod to be independent, for his intelligence is absorbed only in Krishna. Yet, he does not disrespect them. Very nice. Third, shows appropriate respect to the spiritual master, eternally, never doubt disrespect to Guru. And if you do, you are envious to Krishna. Do you know that verse? Sure. Tasmat Gurum Prapadeto Jiggashu Se Uttamam. That you should go to Guru and take. But don't think he is a human being out of envy. If you think your Guru is an American born or Indian born or somewhere born, this is not a good way to think. We are attracted by his bhakti to Krishna, Prabhupada, like that. Fourth, appropriate honor the bhakti shastras means you respect all the scriptures, Bhagavatam. Not like you leave the Bhagavatam here, I don't even care. No, you must respect. If you don't respect Bhagavad Gita should be always above our head. Like we should think like this. Then we can see that, yes. 5. Give up unnecessary argument and develops a faith that holy name and Krishna are non-different. He considers the holy name as the highest worshipable reality. Number 6. Does not engage in sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 7. Does not consider pious activity as dharma, bhav, austerity to be equal to the holy name. 8. Make an effort to develop faith in faithless, but does not instruct them about the holy name until the faith is awakened. Very important point. 9. Has complete faith in the glories of the holy name that is described in the Shastra. 10. Does not identify himself with the material conception. Always identify as a servant of Krishna. And if you have this one of the 10, means you are envy to Krishna. Bhagavad Gita will not be revealed in your heart fully. These are the qualifications. Arjuna never had this. That's why he is the eligible person. How Bhagavad Gita is relevant to us? The last question. I'll just finish. I already discussed that. Some hint. I'll discuss as the classes goes on. How Bhagavad Gita is relevant to us. I give you something very interesting. You please write it down in your memory. The 4 questions you must ask. Out of 700 sloka, Arjuna asked 16 questions to Krishna. In answer, he spoke 574 verses. But all boils down to those 4 questions. What is the suffering? Do you know what is suffering? Somebody will say, well, disease. Yes, but that's not the real suffering. Because you have a material body, that's why. But that's not the real suffering. This is what the key point of Bhagavad Gita. Oh, old age, I cannot act like a young. That's not real suffering. That is suffering, but not exactly real suffering. Real suffering, please remember this. This is from Bhagavad Gita, this. To get what you don't want and not to get what you really need and you want. This is called real suffering. So that's the first question. How is it relevant to us? Second, what is the cause of suffering? Forgetfulness of the soul's relationship with the Supreme. You follow? Forgetfulness. That is the cause of that suffering. And the third is, what is the solution of that suffering? Reviving our relationship through this bhakti. is the solution. And that's why 9th chapter, one sloka Krishna repeated twice for that purpose. What is that sloka? Who knows? We should memorize those together. Manmana bhavamad bhakta majyati mam namaskuru. Yeah. Ame vasya shishabdam te pradijane priyasime. So, and then the fourth one is to revive. You have to do sadhana, and to do sadhana means you have to tolerate. That's why Krishna told Arjuna, Matra sparsastu kunteya. Like a winter and summer, happiness and distress, you must tolerate. What is that tolerate means? Tolerate means like take a blanket, if it is cold, like, I'm going to tolerate, just sleep. No, tolerate means you are constantly practicing your sadhana. You're not giving up service to the Lord. Even in ice cold or 100-degree fever, of course you should take care of your body, but you never give up your sadhana. This is called tolerance. You follow? Tolerance means you never give up your spiritual practice. So that's how it is relevant to us. Wow. I'll end here. This is very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Bhagavad Gita is not a book of silence or violence. Sometimes, Krishna reminds something right. It is a book of transcendence. Krishna tells that we have many roles, we have many functional identities, but go beyond them to your fundamental identity. Where did he say that? Vedasya sarve. No. Traigunna vishaya veda nistraigunna bhavarjana. Arjuna, go above the Veda. Because Veda is compiled with three modes. What is above Veda? Krishna consciousness. Above Veda means this, the one we practice. This is very nice. Krishna uses that knowledge to tell Arjuna, while doing your duty of fighting against the Kauravas, don't lament. How do you kill your enemy? If you look at that verse, it says Jitta Satru. Jitta means conquer. Satru means enemy. Well, you have to identify who is your enemy first of all. Otherwise, you'll kill your friend. Out of 640 million, there is also a lot of friends. I mean, your party also joined. So you have to know how to identify who is the enemy. Yes or no? Otherwise, how you kill the enemy? But at the same time, no enmity. How do you do it? Tasmat sarvesu kaleshu mam anusmara juddhacha mayar pita manobuddhi mamevasya asamsaya. You will guarantee come to me. You will please me, Krishna says. If you engage your intelligence in me and absorb your mind while you're killing enemy without enmity. Means you're doing as a service for Krishna. No ill feeling inside. This is Arjuna. Best example. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gurudev ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Guru Parampara ki jai, Radha Vrindavan Chandra ki jai, Krishna Balaram ki jai, Bonditai Bhagavan ki jai, Viraj Maharaj ki jai. Maybe we sing for 1 minute and then we start. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram.